Right. Welcome everybody to today's workout. I hope you're all doing well and have lots of energy for today's session. Okay, so we are going to start off with a warm-up. I'm just getting my timer all set and ready. So you will need some weights for today, but don't get them just yet. Warm-up won't need anything. We're just going to prepare the body for the workout. So you just need yourselves and a little bit of space to get this done. Okay, so let's start ourselves off. So let's just shake the limbs, our arms and legs, get nice and loose. I want you to stand nice and tall, and we're going to plant our feet. We're going to roll our shoulders up towards our ears. We're going to pull them back and exaggerate, putting them down, and then we're going to start marching on the spine. Okay, now as we march, I want you to think about your posture and activating your core. So first of all, posture, we kind of just did that with the shoulders, okay? So that rolling the shoulders back and down, that's where I want you to hold the shoulders so they sit away from the ears. Make sure we're standing nice and tall. So think about lengthening through the spine, and then we're going to draw inwards from the waist. If you can also think about putting the belly button in towards the spine. Now just make sure that you're not holding your breath to do that. Okay, so try and dissociate that from your diaphragm, your breathing muscle, and activating your core. Okay, so let's just go a little bit faster without marching. So it's just generic warm up, just trying to get the blood flowing around the body. Okay, next I want you to step out to the side, just one step, and open the arms out to the side with it. Okay, now we are just going to get the body moving. As I said, we want to increase the circulation, get that blood flowing around the body, but at the same time, we're going to prepare the joints. So as we're doing this, think about giving your chest a nice stretch open. Okay, pull your shoulder blades together at the back. Keep those palms facing forwards. Nice. Now, as we're doing this, make sure we keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Remember, we don't want to create tension up through the neck by shrugging upwards. Lovely. Keep it going. Make sure you're taking some nice big steps. Think about pushing the hips forwards to get a little stretch through the hips at the same time. Nice. We're going to do another 10 seconds here, and then we're going to do some lunges to really open up through the hips a little more. Good. Let's finish over onto this side. Okay, what I want to do is I want you to take a step forwards, big step forwards, little bend in the knees, and we're going to reach up through the arms, okay? Push back, switch legs. Step forwards, big reach, lovely. Now, as we take that big step forwards, make sure two things for me. Your foot and your knee are both pointing forwards, okay? We don't want the knee pointing inwards or the foot pointing the opposite way. So be really careful with your foot placement and that alignment as we go. Nice, I'm going to change up the movement with the arms. So still take that big step forwards into that lunge, and then what we do is we reach out behind you. Okay, you're going to reach with the arm on the back leg side. Okay, so we're taking a step forwards into that lunge and we're reaching out to the back. Good. Nice, keep it going. We'll do one more. Lovely, bring the feet about hip width apart and we're going into some squats. So pushing the bum back into your squat and then stand nice and tall. As we do so, again, think about the alignment through your knees and your feet. Okay, as we go down, the thing to avoid is the knees collapsing inwards or over-exaggerating and pushing them too wide. Literally imagine there's a line from your hips going through your knees, down to your toes. They should all be pointing in the same direction. Lovely. Right, now when we get to the top, I want to add in this shoulder movement. So we're just going to pull the arms out to the side. And imagine you're trying to turn your thumbs to point behind you. You should feel a nice squeeze between your shoulder blades as you do this, and a stretch open through your chest. Good. Keep it going. Make sure we're getting that nice stretch through the chest. Do remember to keep your core engaged as well, so that we don't end up hyperextending as we do that. Right, good. Here we go, one more. Nice. Now I want to roll down. We'll do a spinal roll down. Hands in front of the thighs. We're going to tuck the chin down to the chest and just let your body roll downwards. You're going to go as far as you can. Soften the knees. Don't have them locked. Don't bend them either. When you can't go any further, engage your core, so pull the tummy in, grip on with the toes, squeeze the bum, and come all the way back up. Okay, and then back down again, starting with the chin to the chest. Keep those hands running down the front of the legs. We're allowing the spine to roll down, so we're encouraging that flexion. You're going to feel that stretching all through the back, down the back of the legs. When you can't go any further, grip the toes, tummy pulled in, squeezing the bum. As we come all the way back up, we're going to do one more of those. So again, going down, nice and slow. Slowly as we go down. When we grip the toes, pulling the belly button as if we're trying to pull in, up into the spine. And up to the top. Good. Just finishing off. Nice wide stance. Reach one arm down across towards the toe. Come up and then down to the other side. Good. So make sure as we lean down that we are not trying to round through the back this time. We're trying to keep the back straight. We're going to feel a bit more of a stretch going on through the back of the legs. Make sure when we come up to the top, we're opening through the chest. Good, couple more. Last one. Good, okay, warm up complete. What I want you to do now is take a nice wide stance for me, no weights. We're going to keep the toes pointing forwards and we're going to do 3 rounds of side split squats. So you're just going to push your hips back into that split squat, okay? So nice wide stance, let's go. So push the bum back, bending one knee, the other leg stays straight. We're just going to do this one side. Okay, so as you bend this knee, remember this leg, the other leg is locked out straight. Focus on trying to keep your body square. Okay, so I'm not rotating my body at all. I'm not pushing my hips out to the side. My hips, my shoulders, my head are all pointing forwards as I go into that side split squat. You should be feeling a stretch on the inside of this leg. Okay, let's give it a go on the other side, okay? So remember, toes are still pointing forwards. We bend the one knee and the other leg stays straight. Really important that that knee does not bend. If that knee starts to bend, it's going to change the position of the hips. We're going to lose that stretch. That's what I really want you to be feeling, that stretch on the inside of the straight leg. Now just be aware, if you're feeling this in your knee a bit too much on the side we're bending, just make sure that your bum is moving backwards as you do that split squat. Okay, let's go back to the other side now. Okay, so again, pushing the bum backwards as we go down into that side split squat. We're feeling a nice stretch on the inside of the straight leg, which remember, we're not going to let that knee bend at all. To make sure we're looking after the knees, we're not just bending the knee and keeping the hip in line with the heel, but we're pushing the bum behind the heel. Okay, that way we're activating our glutes, looking after the knee. Okay, switch sides again. Okay, so straight in. We're not going to give any rest time to change between left and right. Good time to remind you about your core as well. So we want to make sure that we're keeping that core engaged. Now that just means drawing in through the waist, okay? So we're just keeping some tension there because that's going to help to just look after the lower back, how to stabilize the hips as we go. Okay, we've got one more round to go. Back to the side where we started. Right now, we might find that we can get a little bit deeper. So can you go a little bit lower into that side split squat? Now we're warming up into it. Okay, just make sure that your technique doesn't start to compensate. Okay, so to get that extra range, I don't want to see you excessively leaning forwards or having the knee collapsing inwards. Just make sure everything is perfect. Okay, over to the other side, last 30 seconds. So again, we're thinking quality over quantity, but if we can get a bit more range, then we're just pushing our level, our boundaries. Good, remember a quick recap. Everything's nice and square. Hips, shoulders, head, still pointing forwards. Make sure we're getting the bum back behind the heel to look after the knee. The other leg stays locked straight. One and stop there. Good, right, give the legs a little shake out. We're going to have a little rest Now's the time to go grab some water. Just take a little sip of that, and we're going to come back in using some dumbbells. So you're going to need a pair of dumbbells, and we're going to do 2 different exercises this time. Our first exercise is focusing on the lower body. We're going to do some sideways lunges, very similar to those side split squats we just did, but you're going to step in and out. So we're going to alternate. You're going to step into that side split squat, step back into the middle, and then over the other side. That's why it's a side lunge. Then with that, we're going to do some upright rows. So we're going to stand nice and tall, focusing on the upper body, pull the dumbbells up to the chest, get those elbows high and wide. I do not want to see the dumbbells above your elbows, okay? So elbows are always above. Let's go into those side lunges first, okay? So we're stepping out to the side, and we're going to alternate from side to side. Now make sure we've just practiced this movement, okay? This is exactly the same as our split squat, but just with a little extra movement going on. So as we go into that, knee bend, the other leg stays straight, the bum goes back, hips and shoulders stay square. Just let those dumbbells reach either side of the knee, okay? Into our upright rows. So make sure the shoulders stay relaxed down away from the ears. So I'm not pulling upwards from here. I'm just putting those elbows high and wide. The dumbbells stay close to my body. I'm just going to pull up to the chest. The main thing is that the elbows stay above the dumbbells and I'm not rotating at the top. Make sure we're engaging the core. Don't neglect that. Keep standing nice and tall. Back to your lunges again. Okay, so step out to the side, into the middle, over to the other side. So it's just like our split squats. We did 3 sets practicing them. So you should be a master of that movement now. We're just traveling with it. So we're just going from side to side, alternating those reps. Good. Make sure we keep pushing those hips back. 3 more seconds. 1 more over this side. Into your upright rows. So standing tall, remember that transition straight away. We just go straight into that next exercise every time, 30 seconds of each. So the legs get a little rest whilst we work the arms, then the arms get a little rest whilst we work the legs. Just watch out to make sure that we're not shrugging those dumbbells up. Okay, keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Imagine you've got a piece of string attached to the elbows. That's what's driving them up and out. Good, back to your lunges. So last round, 30 seconds on each. Remember, keep your abs tight, okay? So pulling in from the belly button as if the belly button's touching the spine on the inside, but pulling in through the sides of the waist as well. Remember, now we're traveling, we're still keeping the rest of the body square. So you should be facing forwards, your hips and your shoulders are facing forwards. Do not turn your foot. Back to the upright rows, last 30 seconds of our upper body exercise. Again, keeping that down, those dumbbells close to the body. Make sure the elbows lead the way. Don't let the elbows get lazy and point down to the floor. High and wide. Make sure we're standing with good posture. So I want you to keep exaggerating. You're standing nice and tall as we lift those dumbbells up. 5 seconds left. Keep a nice smooth tempo and pop your dumbbells down for a sec. Grab some water, have a little rest. Again, make sure we're sipping of water throughout when we get these breaks so we keep hydrated. Okay, and next exercise, again, we're going to use the dumbbells. So you're going to need your pair of dumbbells, and we're going to do a wide squat. So from a wide squat there, you're going to squat down, pushing the knees out and the bum back so the dumbbells sit between the knees. As we come up, we're going to throw those dumbbells into a bicep curl overhead. So I want it to be a bit more explosive on the way up. So we're going to come down slowly and explosive on the way up. Down slow and explosive. Okay, for this one, we're just going to do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. So really give it all you've got in that 30 seconds. Let's go. So down into the squat, up and press. As we come up, make sure you are focusing in on your core. Okay, your core is going to be vital to make sure that you don't feel this in your lower back. Okay, so from the bottom of that squat, abs in really tight as we take those dumbbells up to the shoulders and then press overhead. Think about trying to really extend through the shoulders. Get a nice stretch there so the arms are in line with the body. Just make sure we're not leaning back. Take 30 seconds rest. Grab some water if you need to. The idea is we work at an intensity during that 30 seconds that gets our heart rate up so that we need a little rest, okay? If you aren't needing that rest now, maybe go a little heavier with the dumbbells. If you haven't got any heavier dumbbells, try and go a little quicker so we get more reps in that time, okay? So that's our goal, work hard in the 30 seconds. Get ready, wide stance, toes turned out. Let's go, down to that squat, up and press. Remember, we're a bit more explosive on the way up. We just want to make sure we're controlling it on the way back down, okay? So we're not letting the dumbbells and gravity take over. We're still in charge. Making sure we go down to that squat, that we've got a nice straight back, okay? I'm not rounding my back to get down. Got to push the bum back to get down there. One and rest, well done. Good. So we should find that the heart rate is slightly elevated when we get to this 30 seconds. If not, remember, we need to work a little harder, maybe a little quicker, get more reps in. If you've got access to heavier weights, try it with heavier weights. So again, that you need that rest at the end. Okay, so grab your dumbbells. Let's just get ourselves set for our last set. Okay, so toes turned out in this wide squat. Remember, we go down into our squat, bum back, knees out, in line with the toes. Ready? Let's go. Down to that squat. Up and press. So remember, controlling it on the way down, explode out of the bottom with your core nice and tight, putting that belly button into the spine, and then taking those dumbbells all the way up overhead. So we're almost using a little bit of momentum to help get them over there, which is why we can afford to go that little bit heavier. 2, 1, finish that one you're on. And dumbbells down, take a little rest. Well done, remember, grab some water whilst we're resting. Okay, our next one. We're going to put the dumbbells down for a second whilst we do a bit more mobility work. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a forward lunge. So you're going to have 1 foot forwards, you're going to step 1 foot forwards, and we're going to reach down with the opposite hand towards that foot, so we're twisting inwards. And then we're going to open outwards. Okay, then we're going to stay in that lunge. So we're going to do one side at a time. So it's going to be reaching forwards, open outwards. Reaching forwards, open out. So with that twist and rotation of the body, make sure we're using our abs nice and tight to get a bit of core work. Okay, so step forwards with 1 foot. Make sure that foot and knee are forwards. Reach forwards, so we're twisting inwards. Then we're going to reach outwards. Okay. Reaching in and across, reaching out. Now, as we come outwards, just make sure that this front knee isn't following us all the way around, okay? The front knee and foot should stay pointing forward. Now, if you want to, and you're not sure, maybe put that other hand on the inside of the knee, just to make sure that it's not following the body around. Okay, change over to the other side. Okay, so forward, foot, knee, facing forwards, reaching, then out. Again, if you're not sure whether that front knee is following the rest of the body around when we reach out to the back, just place your hand on the inside of your front knee. So when we reach out, we can feel whether it's moving. You can also then use your hand just slightly to push against that knee to help you. Okay, switch sides. Okay, so again, engaging through the core, reach forwards, so we've got that little twist inwards, and then out. Again, as you can see, just putting the back of my hand up against the inside of my knee. As I do that exercise, just helps me to know that my knee's not following around. And I can, even if it is, I can just push slightly against it to try and stop it. Good. 2, 1. Finish that when you're on. Switch sides. So again, abs nice and tight, reaching down, in and across the body. And then we're going to open outwards. Good. Reaching in, abs tight. Keep that weight over that front foot. Okay, so when we reach around to the back, it's really important that we're not shifting our weight to the back foot. Okay, I'm still leaning forwards into that front foot as I'm doing it. Okay, switch sides again. Last time around. Okay, so 30 seconds on each side. Reaching down and in. And then open up and out. Again, when we open up and out, make sure that you are pulling in from the waist. Okay, so we want to feel those core muscles really being worked and challenged as we do this. You're going to feel that front leg hopefully loaded. You're going to hopefully feel your glutes. Okay, change to the other side, last 30 seconds. Again, reaching down, load into that front foot. Make sure we then keep that weight forwards. We're not letting the weight shift backwards. So I'm not shifting my weight onto the back foot as I reach out to the back. I'm keeping that kind of slightly forward lean. I'm really feeling that, trying to open through my chest and my shoulder as I'm twisting round. Good, last 3 seconds. So just finish that one you're on. Perfect. All right. Grab your dumbbells. Have a little sip of water if you need to. So back to the dumbbells. Lower body exercise. We're going to do reverse lunges. So you're going to hold the dumbbells by your side. Just make sure shoulders are set down, back away from your ears. We're going to step out of the back onto your toe and then drop that knee down towards the floor. See if you can get to the floor. Perfect. Main thing is make sure that front knee and foot stay pointed forwards. You're going to alternate reps, okay? So you're going to alternate the legs. The other exercise is the bent over row. We're going to hinge forwards from the hips, shoulders are down away from the ears, and you're going to pull into the body for the row, okay? So grab your dumbbells, lunges first. So lunging backwards. So we step back onto the toe, keeping the shoulders, again, set back and down. So just like we do when we roll the shoulders, we're just going to keep them there. Keep looking straight ahead, try and avoid looking down at your foot. We do want to every now and again maybe just check to make sure that that thigh is pointing straight ahead. Good. Switch to the bent over row. So tilt forwards from the hips, shoulders down away from the ears, and then row into the body. As you can see, my knees are soft rather than locked, but I'm not squatting. It's not a squat. My bum's pushed up out the back behind me. I'm pulling in nice and tight from my tummy. And as I do my row, I'm trying to focus on stretching open my chest to get that work from the back. Good, back to our lunges. Stand tall, stepping out of the back. Okay, so again, remember there's no stop time, there's no set rest between the two exercises. We want to try and transition from one to the other as quickly and smoothly as possible to keep the body moving. Okay, so the legs get to rest whilst the upper body's working, and the upper body gets to rest whilst the legs are working. The body as a whole doesn't get to rest till we finish. Okay, back to our row. So bend over from the hips, pull into the body. Remember, it's really important that angle that you're doing this row. You do not want to be putting upwards towards the ceiling. If you're putting upwards towards the ceiling, I guarantee you're doing too much work through the top of your shoulders unless you're managing to get yourself horizontal. Okay, so you're putting into the body. Okay, so whatever angle the body is, that's the angle that we do our row at. Lovely, back to our lunges. So again, make sure you engage that core, pulling in tight around the spine through your waist. Make sure when we come up from that lunge that we're standing tall. Squeeze your bum as you're stepping forward from that lunge. Keep that tummy pulled in the whole time. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed down away from the ears. 2, last one, switch into your rows. So again, bent over, row. Focus, like I said, that really stretching open the chest. So as we're putting into the body, we're letting that chest stretch open. Make sure that we're not shrugging the shoulders up. So the movement's not an upward movement, it's a backward movement. I'm coming back into the body. 3 seconds, get one more rep in for me there. And weights down, grab some water. Okay, and this next one, we're going to do a single arm snatch. So we're going to take that single arm, so you're just going to need one dumbbell, one at a time. We're going to take a wide stance. We're going to go down between the legs. Nice long arm, let it hang between the legs in a bit of a squat position. And then from there, in one movement, we're going to come up to the shoulder, then push all the way through, then back down again. Okay, so from there, up, back down. That's our move. Start one side this time. We're going to switch. Okay, so one side, let's go. But this time round, you don't get your 30 seconds rest in between. For this one, we've got an exercise to fill, so we've got to do the other side. Again, make sure abs really tight as we explode up. And just watch out to make sure when we get to the top that we're not leaning away from that dumbbell arm, okay? So keep the body nice and straight. 3 seconds, 2, 1, change hands. Straight in, don't rest. Again, pushing those hips back. Make sure we're working the core nice and tight. Good, keep it going. Again, watch out for leaning over. So really focus through the sides of your core. That's what's going to stop you from leaning, okay? 2, 1, change hands. Again, so with that wide stance. Little squat, let that arm hang between the knees. When we come up, bang, nice and powerful. Get that extension through the arm, all the way up, overhead. Good, keep it going. Again, think quick on the way up, controlled on the way down. Make sure though that the core is switched on and engaged. 2, 1, switch hands. Good. Again, core nice and tight. Hips back into that squat. Watch out for leaning across again. Keep the body square. Good. Keep that technique going. Keep that flow. So get your rhythm. Don't let it drop. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Last round. Here we go. Back to the arm we started. So 30 seconds left on each arm. Again, really important as we start to get more tired through the set that we keep very mindful of the core. So every time we're coming up, we're pulling in from the belly button. When we get to the top, we're pulling in through the sides of the waist to make sure that we're not leaning across. 3 seconds left on this arm. 1, switch it over. Last 30 seconds, then we rest again. Just watch out to make sure that as we come down with the dumbbell, that we're not letting the back round, okay? So hips back, but the back stays straight. Good, keep it going. As we lift overhead, make sure we're not shrugging the shoulder. 5 seconds to go. 2, 1, and dumbbell down. Lovely. Grab some water. Have a little rest. Keep your attention here whilst I take you through the next exercise, okay? So, next one, we're not going to need any dumbbells, little break from the dumbbells. What we're going to do is we're going to go into a wide stance, and then we're going to go down, and as we go into our squat, what I want you to do is we're going to reach down with one hand. So there's a slight rotation in, and then as we come up, we're going to open out through the shoulders, okay? So we're going to go down, open through the shoulders. So when we open through the shoulders, make sure keep the shoulders down, away from the ears. Turn the hands to the thumbs pointing out behind you. Okay, let's give it a go. So all with the same hand for the first 30 seconds. Good. And what I want you to focus on when we go down into the squat is pushing the hips right back and opening the hips by pushing the knees outwards. Okay, so as I go down into the squat, I'm pushing my hips back, and I'm opening the knees out. Make sure we're not letting the chest drop down. Okay, switch hands, keep going. So down into that squat, we now switch the hands that's reaching. Okay, all that reach is doing is just making a little bit of a rotation through the body. So we want to make sure it's even and balanced. Again, we still want to be trying to hit those same ranges. So we're getting as low as you can making sure that we're really opening those hips out. Good, switch hands. So just keep going with that same rhythm, just switch the hands over. We should also now be feeling that work through the upper mid-back. So every time we're putting those arms out and opening the chest, not only are we getting a nice stretch through the front, but we should really start to be feeling that work coming from the back, specifically kind of between the shoulder blades. Okay, that's where I want you to feel that work coming from. Okay, switch hands on your next squat. Good. Just keep it there, keep that rhythm going. Remember, focusing on that squat. Maybe now we can focus about trying to get a little deeper without losing our form. Remember, we want to make sure that we're getting the hips right back and those knees out. Every time, pushing the knees out. Don't lean over to the side, Dad. In the middle. Okay? Okay, switch hands. So the squat is in the middle, we're just reaching with one hand. So, nice. So yeah, so we're getting that nice central squat. The rotation just comes from the fact that we're reaching with the arm. I don't want you to think about the rotation. I just want you to let one arm reach into the middle and it'll automatically happen. The rest of your thought is a nice even squat. Okay, change hands on that next squat. It's our last 30 seconds. Okay, so again, think about reaching into the middle, not over to the side. So into the middle and then out. You should feel, I want you to feel for me, make sure you can feel the weight evenly in both legs. Okay, you shouldn't be feeling it more onto one side. Okay, 3 seconds. 2, 1, take a little rest. Good, grab some water. Back to our dumbbells. Okay, so for the legs, we're going to hold on the dumbbells down by our side and we're going to do some squats, some weighted squats. So we're going to have, now you've got a choice here. I'm going to do it with a narrow stance. So I'm going to squat down with the weights either side of my legs. If you find that really limiting, maybe because your hips are tight or whatever, you can do a wide squat with the dumbbells between the knees. Okay, so if this feels really uncomfortable, you can do it wide. For the upper body, we're going to do an overhead press. So dumbbells start in line with the ears and we press overhead in a strict press. Okay, let's go with the squats. Down into our squat. So again, I'm doing some narrower squats. So my feet are under my hips, toes pointing forwards, knees pointing forwards, and those dumbbells just passing nice and smoothly down by the outside of the thighs. If you find that really uncomfortable, and some people will, that's fine. Just open your stance out, let the toes rotate outwards as well, go in between the knees. Okay, right, up into the press. So, dumbbells start in line with the ears. We're not letting the arms rest on the body. Okay, as we come down, make sure we open the chest. So we're letting the dumbbells kind of stay in line with the body as we work. Make sure we're engaging the core so that we're not leaning backwards and pressing, loading our lower backs. All right, back to our squats again. So drop those arms down, shoulders set, get the feet in position. Okay, so again, remember you have got that option of doing wide. If you are doing wide, just remember toes out, which means knees out as well. Everything else is the same. Shoulders set, core tight. You're only doing that wide squat if, for whatever reason, this is too uncomfortable in a narrow stance. Okay, back in the shoulder press. So again, as we come down, focus on making sure that we're opening that chest out. So the dumbbells are coming out from the side rather than the front. Okay, so we're not pushing from the front up, it's from the side up. Again, think about keeping your core engaged so we're not leaning back. Make sure that we're getting that nice extension without shrugging the shoulders. One and back to squats last time round. So into your squats. Again, watch out to make sure we're not leaning too far over. Okay, this isn't a deadlift. The body should be no more than 45 degrees. See that angle there? 45 degrees into my squat. I'm not going to lean any further forwards than that. And again, don't try and stay too upright as well. You kind of want to hit that 45 degrees to really optimize your squat. 3 seconds left. 2, 1. Up for the shoulder press. Take it to the top. And again, just make sure we control it on the way down. If you're starting to get tired, think a little bit more explosive on the way up if you need to. Just make sure we keep those shoulders set down away from your ears. So I don't want you to finish with the shoulders shrugged up. We don't want to put too much tension in the neck. Keep those abs tight. Make sure we're not dropping those elbows all the way down. Last one. Good. Bring it down. Grab some water. Almost there. That's it. We've got one more segment left. Then we're going to cool down. Okay. So our last one. So this was our explosive segment. So for this one, we're going to kind of put together those 2 exercises that we just done. We're going to do a front squat to press. So slightly different position to hold the dumbbells for the squat. You're going to take those dumbbells and you're going to place them up and push them back towards, if we're trying to push them back towards the back of the shoulders. That brings the elbows pointing forwards, as you can see. From there, I go down to my squat. As I come up from my squat, I press overhead. Okay, so we're going to do a squat and press. Grab your dumbbells. Let's go. So this one, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. So this is the one where we really give it some for the 30 seconds. Make sure that our technique is good. So get those hips back, core nice and tight, so we're really stabilizing that weight. Remember to keep your elbows pointing forwards. Don't let them drop down to the floor. If they're touching your body, that's going to make it harder. Keep them forwards. 5 seconds left. Explode on the way up. Control it on the way down. And stop. Good. Remember, because we've got the 30 seconds rest, we should be working harder in that 30 seconds before. If you need to, maybe go a little heavier if you feel like you can. If you haven't got those weights there, try and maybe go a little quicker so we get more reps in. We want to feel like we need the 30 seconds rest, not that we're just taking it for the hell of it, okay? So let's just get ourselves in position. Dumbbells up by the shoulders. Elbows pointing forwards. Ready? Let's go. Down to that squat. Drive it up. You want to try and get yourself in a nice rhythm. So as soon as those dumbbells are coming back down to the shoulders, we start the next squat. Again, keep the chest lifted. Help keep those elbows pointing forwards so they're not dropping downwards to point to the floor. Core tight. 5 seconds left. Get those last reps in. Remember, we've got a rest coming up. And stop. Well done. Well done. Nice one. We've got one more round left. Okay. So 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. We're going to smash this last one. Just remember the technique points. Keep that core tight. Okay. Make sure we're pushing the hips back with the squat. Do be aware of alignment of the knees. So just make sure that we're not dropping in with the knees as we go into that squat. We'll be fine. Okay. So 30 seconds left. Let's get in position. Elbows up by shoulders, elbows forwards. Let's go. Down to that squat, drive it up. So we're using the momentum from the legs coming up from that squat to help us get those dumbbells overhead. The more you can drive through your legs, the more that's going to help the arms. Good. Get that full extension. 10 seconds to go. This is the last exercise. Let's make sure we make it count. Good. All the way to the top. 3, 2. Get that last rep in for me. And bring the dumbbells down. Grab some more. Just take a little sip. We're going to go straight into our cool down and we're going to do some static stretching. So let's just get control of our breathing. So you want to take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Try and hold it for a second and out through the mouth. This way we're going to get control of our breathing. It's going to start to slow our heart rate back down. Okay, so whilst we're doing our stretches, focus on that. Okay, take the arms out to the side. Take a deep breath in through the nose. As we exhale, pull the shoulder blades together at the back. Keep those palms facing forwards. Take deep breaths. Make sure those shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Keep pulling those shoulders and arms to the back of the room. Good. Keep going with deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Right, take one arm across the body, thumb on top, grab hold of your elbow, and just pull that arm over to the other side of the room. And as we do this, again, keep going with that nice, slow, deep breathing. Just make sure as we pull the arm across, we keep the shoulders level. We're not letting yourselves lean over to one side or twist through the body. So nice, soft knees. Pull that shoulder across the body into that stretch. We should feel that shoulder stretching out nicely. Okay, let's change over to the other side. So again, thumb on top, grab hold of that arm, stretch it over. Nice and tall through the body. Make sure we've got those shoulders relaxed down away from the ears. We don't want one coming up towards the ear, resting there. Both shoulders down, putting the arm across. Just keeping that core switched on. Nice deep breath in, remember through the nose. And out through the mouth. Lovely. Take the arms out to the side. We're going to twist those arms round. So just like we've done in some of those exercises before, put the thumbs behind you. Make sure we're standing nice and tall. Again, draw your waist in. Turn those hands as far around as you can. Drag the shoulders down. Shoulder blades into your back pockets. Good. Okay. Split your stance. I want you to tilt your hips backwards, and then we're going to shift the hips forwards. Okay. From doing that, we should feel a nice stretch at the top of the back leg here at the front of the hip. Okay, so we've tilted the hips back, so we tuck them under, and then just shifted the whole body forwards towards that front leg. Now, just make sure that when we tilt the hips, we don't let the shoulders drop and round forward. So think good posture for the rest of the body still. And as we drag the hips forwards, it's the whole body and not just the hips. Okay, so whole body set over there, tucked under, squeezing through the bum to just increase that stretch we're feeling in the front of the hip. Okay, let's switch over, do that on the other side. So again, we've got a split stance. We're going to tilt the hips first, so tucking the bum under the rest of the body. And then we're just going to try and pull the body, so we're stacking it over that front leg. Okay, so stacking it on top of the front leg rather than banana back in it. Okay, that'll put pressure through the lower back. We just want to feel that stretch through the front of the hip. So just lengthening out through that front side. Remember, once you've got it, nice deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. Okay, stretch the back of the leg now. So take one foot forwards, heel to the floor, and we're going to tilt the hips forwards this time. Okay. Now I say tilt the hips forwards rather than bend forwards because I want you to try and isolate that movement from the hips rather than bending the back. Okay. So think about opening the chest, tilt the hips forwards. Now, if you're struggling to get in this position, the best thing you could do is perch your bum on the chair. You can even do it up against the wall. Okay, that just encourages the hips to tip forwards. It will give you a bit of support and balance, and where we should be feeling that stretch is right down the back of the thigh. Okay, good. Let's switch that over to the other side. Okay, so just other leg in front. Again, just make sure when you're doing this, that this back foot, even though we're not stretching it, make sure the back foot is pointing forwards. Okay? Sometimes when you see people stretch, they turn that foot outwards. What that does is it changes the position of the hips. The hamstrings that we're stretching now attached to the hips, that's like stretching it from here to here. Okay? So make sure we're pointing forwards as we do this. So that back foot is important. More important even so, is making sure that the knee is locked straight with that side that we're stretching. Because as soon as that knee bends, we're going to lose the stretch. So push that knee back into it. Remember, we're tilting from the hips. We're feeling a stretch all the way down the back of the leg. Good. Bring them nice and slowly. Give the legs a bit of a shake out now. Let them loosen out. We're just going to finish off with a nice roll of the shoulders. So take the shoulders forwards as you come up towards your ears. Take a deep breath in through your nose for me. As we come back and down, breathe out through the mouth. We do that one more time. Slowly forwards, up, in through the nose. Pull back as we go down. Exhale, just let everything drop down. Relaxing the body. And that brings us to the end. So give a little shake out and then give yourselves a round of applause. Well done, everyone. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's workout. Let me know how you got on. If you've been doing this on Facebook, please do leave a little message in the comments, just to let me know you're there, whether you were doing it live or catching up on a replay. Right, I'm going to let you go. You've done really well today. Smashed it as always. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I say, give me some feedback if you want to. Tell your friends about it. Have a good day. See you next time. Bye, everyone. Cheers. Bye.